Hello. Um, so today we're going to work on implementing the new HUD for the game, and it seems like the thumbnail is default, like the last thumbnail I used, so I'll have to fix that after the stream. But so I worked on this way too much yesterday, and just doing different things in the game. So like I tried to get hot loading to work and hot code reloading to work, I should say. I already hot load basically everything, but I'm just gonna try to get it to work for code. And there's kind of like a half-done feature in Nim to do that, but I couldn't quite get that working. And in the end, I was like, this probably isn't worthwhile, really. Like, I don't really need it. It's really easy for me to just like blat out a JSON file and hot code, like hot reload the JSON file. If I wanted to tweak like a particle system or something live, I can just do that already. So I probably don't need that. So what I did to get ready for this is I went ahead and took my my UI mockup that I made and just made like a completed background and cut it in 2 pieces. And so that's what we've got. And that is actually on the UI layer. So the way that the mockup was working before is I hid everything on the UI layer, and then I drew the mockup on the minigame layer, basically. So if I talked to somebody and there was some dialogue, you couldn't see it before on the previous streams. So now you can actually see like the dialogue box. So that's cool. But so, I'm pretty groggy, but I'm like, well, I don't know. I was trying to work on the game this morning. I was groggy, and I'm like, well, if I get in a stream, that will keep me focused because I can't get distracted by Twitter or Discord if I'm in the stream. So yeah. So we're gonna go and fix up some. We're gonna try to get the health bar done. We might do the money and keys display. And we might get to items, but I doubt it. I'm supposed to be at a meetup here in about an hour and 15 minutes, so it might be a short stream if I go to that, or if I like get in the swing of things, I might just keep working and miss it. But we'll see. So partly as well, the UI change is going to bring some input changes, so that will also be something that I need to do. And yeah. One thing that is nice, in the process of trying to get hot code reloading to work, I went ahead and I moved all of the asset builder stuff for the maps out to its own program. So now I can go in here and the maps will reload in the background, which is nice. Or at least they should reload in the background. It's been a suspiciously long time. Have I broken something? See, this is what streams are good for. Because as soon as you start a stream, something will go wrong. Well, it sure looks fine. What the heck? So, what we do now is... Wow, it's just suddenly broken. I did merge branches, but there were literally no conflicts. So that's a little bit confusing to me. Do I need to do a save all? Sometimes I forget to do a save all. Or actually, is hot map reloading turned off? No, it's here. It's turned on. What the heck? Excuse me. Okay, well, we're going to fix this, and then we're going to work on the HUD, because this is unacceptable. What the heck? Okay, so if I go do some changes, save. See. What gives? All right. So it sure looks like we rebuilt the maps and it finished. So why isn't it reloading? So I had to change some things. So the map reloading used to just check the modification time because the map reloading, like the map builder was part of the main game in debug builds. And at one point that was multi-threaded, and then I single-threaded it because I was doing a bunch of like shared data and it was just easier to do that. And now it's in a separate program entirely. So checking the modification date, the way things are currently structured doesn't work anymore because I just rebuild everything indiscriminately now instead of rebuilding only the maps that have changed. Just because incremental builds suck for everything is kind of my opinion. But so we did that, and then I changed the map reloader to use, it just does like a lazy MD5 checksum of the current map, and then checks if that changed. And the maps are so tiny that it's fine for me to do that once a second. It doesn't cause any lag. But let's see. So why isn't it reloading? We're reloading the tile set occasionally because that, so it is rebuilding. So we reload images just based on modification date. We don't do a checksum or anything. The reason I did the checksum for the map is if the map reloads, we also reset the room. So like we'll respawn any entities that were in there. Actors, I should say, in this engine, but we don't care. We don't have any, there's no context like that for an image. So we just reload images indiscriminately if they're newer. But I'm really not sure why we're not reloading the map when it has changed. So if I go put some tiles here and save, it should change it, but it's not. Let me restart TileEd while we're here because I've left TileEd running while I've changed branches and merged branches and done other things. Maybe it's in a weird state. I don't know. Maybe I'm editing the wrong layer. No, I'm editing the right layer. Excuse me. Oh, just not reloading. I must have broken it when I was changing something else and just didn't notice last night. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's see. So we are still reloading the maps. We're still rebuilding the maps very frequently. This time is pretty long. It would be a lot shorter if I reworked this so that it could be multi-threaded again and just build each map on a separate thread, but maybe some other time we will do that. Once we get this fixed, we are going to go do the health bar. The way the old HUD worked is like each element, so like the health bar, your money, your keys, and your items, each individual item, all those things were separate actors that actually live in the scene, which is a bit of a hack, but whatever. I'm trying to do the new HUD as just one actor. It will use little like, it will have things separated out into parts just for sanity's sake, but okay, let's go see what the deal is, because I did rejigger some of this. So if the asset build is done, we load the spawn points and we start the next asset build. What is the issue? None of this has changed, I don't think. So it should be this guy that's the problem. So, okay, we get the modified time. Oh, we check if they're both different, which doesn't matter. We should just do the checksum. We don't actually need checking MD5 on file. Well, the MD5 could collide, so maybe we should check both. Maybe we should make this an OR, actually. But that really shouldn't matter. And we do set the checksum. I wondered if maybe I had forgotten to do that. So maybe we should only do this if we successfully load the new map. Maybe that's what we should do. So where do we actually... Or well, no, this would just crash if there was some problem. So it should be fine to do it the way we're doing it. What the heck? Right. Stick our window on top, as usual. Big ups to Carl for showing me that trick. Oh, and now it just magically works. Okay. Whatever, I don't make the rules. Okay. So we're in good shape. Man, it is like so cold. It's cold and I'm groggy. You ever have those days where like you wake up and you're groggy and you're cold and you're kind of like not fully awake and you just kind of like autopilot to the refrigerator and eat leftovers in the kitchen like a gremlin? Because that's the day I'm having. All right, so it's not hot loading issue. Sure. All right, so we've got our game. Let's go make the health bar. So what I'm going to attempt to do before each individual's like this is the A button on the HUD before, and this is the health bar on the HUD before, and all of these things were just their own separate actor. And instead of that, we're just going to have one actor, and then we'll have little self-contained libraries for each of the specific things. I don't think like there's no real reason for the HUD elements to be full actors. They don't really need anything specific to actors that way. One thing that we might do is they might take a scene in some of their not methods. They might take a scene in some of their procs because they might want to animate things using actors. So like when we get a key, we might want to show the key kind of swoop from the screen to the little key indicator. And I need to not hide the cursor in debug builds because I can't point at things if I don't have a cursor. Oop. When not defined, release. Actually, we could put it in the tweaks file. Show cursor. So we'll say if get tweak debug show cursor false. All right. So what are all these warnings, child? Oh, right, because of the, yeah, that's fine. Task output, go away. All right. Okay, so there's our cursor. And actually, I wrote this wrong. If not get tweak, okay. All right, so there's our mouse cursor. And so this is going to be pretty simple. All I've done is I've gone to a sprite and I've looked at the mockup and I've scrolled in and I found where the health bar should start. So I'm at 5, 6, and so then I've gone back to the to the code, and I've written down 5, 6 in here. And then I've copied all the code from the old health bar, and I'm just going to go through and write things that seem reasonable. This will be draw, and I'll take a draw context. All right, so we're going to leave the tick alone for now, and we're just going to focus on draw, and then we'll go back and do all the animation-y things. So let's see. None of that matters anymore. So look at how much time has passed since our health value changed. And then okay, so if we're at the target health, we just use that, and if we're not, we do a little animation. Okay, well that's frustrating. Let's see, so, and this has been renamed to just be target. So if we're at our target health, that's what we show. Otherwise, so like what the reason for this is, let's say you have full health and you take a big hit that takes like 4 hearts. We don't just want to in one frame knock off 4 hearts. We want to like slide down by 4 hearts because it looks a lot nicer. So that's what that's for. It sure looks like we're not doing, oh yeah, I was having the bar fill up and empty to test things at some point. That's what that was. Then what do we do? If we're not full, we check for getting, okay. Why do we do that in the draw? That's odd. We should do that in tick. So I'm gonna grab that and we'll put that up here. Detect max health changing, container, etc. So okay. Not sure why that happens, and oh, this is tick, not draw. Ah, that explains a lot. Okay. And I'll put this here for posterity. Test filling and emptying the bar. And we'll put this in a when block. And, okay. So then what do we do? So we detect the max health changing. And then we also we detect the target, so we detect the player's regular health, like not their max health changing. Detect player's health changing. So we skip to the end of the current animation if we're doing one. We don't flash red anymore. Heartbeat effect. We do that, do we not? Am I insane? We do that somewhere. Maybe we play it in the player, but I don't know. So I'll put a to-do in here for that. To-do. Do we play the heartbeat in the player for now? I don't know. Animation. Time changed. Okay. And then what else? So that was this. In ye olden times. And then what else do we do? We update the animation. Which is if we're not at the target health, we already detect this. We already get this up here. Wait a freaking minute. Okay, so that is in the drawing function. That's where I got tripped up. Okay. Fine. Update the animation. If our animation's done, then we just go to that. And then if we're at low health, oh, here it is. Here it is. So if we've got the low health, then we play a sound. So we don't need to have this. Or no, this is separate. This is like, if you didn't have low health and now you do, there could be a little ding or something to let you know that you just now got low health. That's what that is. Okay. So that's that. Okay. And then down here, time to do the drawing of the things, and the drawing is actually really simple. So the only thing is it draws a cross, just like straight across, and we're gonna have to go through and change it. So there's no flashing anymore, I don't think. Used to, when I wasn't using a more strict style, I would like fade the hearts red when you had like, they would flash red when you were at low health. I don't do that anymore. Because I don't tint things anymore, except for the like light and shadow. That's the only thing right now that does an effect like this. That's not true because some dialog boxes, the dialog system still uses SDL's renderer, and it allows to have some like fancy effects in it. But I don't know if I'll keep that or not. I could keep it because it would let some characters' dialogue feel really out of place, which I value, but I don't know yet. I might take that out. So let's see. So this would be image. What the heck is it called? It's called sheet hearts. Okay. There is no self.x. What is it called now? It is position.x. And position.y. Okay. Well, no major obvious, no compile error. We'll see what happens. Well, I sure don't see a health bar, do you? But that could be because it's rendered behind this, but I don't think so. Oh, right, we're not actually calling this anywhere. Duh. Okay, so we've got a health bar. and it has a little bit of data, and yeah, we don't need any of this crap. All right. So then we'll come over here, and we've already imported the health bar. So then we will say health bar. Well, we'll say elements, and we'll have health bar, result health bar equals health light. There's a function to do that, right? Procedure, I should say. Yes, there is. And there's an init that we need to do. So to health bar init context. I don't need a semicolon. I've been writing a lot of C lately. And TypeScript. And a little bit of Odin. So semicolons all around. So I've got tick, I've got draw, and that should be it. So here in tick, health bar tick, context, and then down here we'll have draw context, and we'll see what we get. All right. Why is there only one? What? Okay. Yeah, the map is reloading every second because I don't require the MD5 to change. Maybe I should just do a SHA-1 or something. I don't think that's the problem though. Ay, ay, ay. Where was that? And is there like a compare or something in here? How does not equals work on an array in, because I'm pretty sure an MD5 digest is an array. Yeah. I don't know how array comparison works in nim per se. Nim array comparison. Yeah, that's not what I want. Oh my gosh. Okay, well. Is there an equals in here? Well, there's sure. No, that's not the right. That's not great either. Bytes will be compared. And array equality. Equality of refs. Not what I'm interested in per se. No. No. I mean, it's allowing me to check equal equal, right? So maybe it's fine. Let's go see what other functions are in here. Maybe encode, decode, slice, mem or not, transform, and update file. Update. 2MD5, which is all we're using. We could cast them both to a string. and see if that fixes it. Feels a little bit stupid, but I'm not here to judge. Okay. The map is not reloading, which is good. And then if we come over to tiled and we draw some tiles and save, the map reloads. Okay, cool. We're in good shape. So it was comparing the MD5 digests that was a problem. Oh no. Oh, okay, so it's the layers that things are rendered on. All right, well, I can fix that pretty easily. So let's go to the health bar. Let's see where we're passing in layers here. Draw tile, layer. Well, I thought I put the layer of the background on -1. Am I crazy? Yeah, oh, the Z is -1. That's my bad. So that should fix that. All right. So now we just need to position it correctly. And actually we need to be one to the left of where we are for this. So it should be 4, 6. I think the Y position is right though. Maybe not. That looks right. Yep. And so then we just need to make it wrap after 2 and we should be good. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and turn this on. So now the health bar, why is it just constantly the same amount? Well, that's not normal. What? That doesn't work anymore because the other stuff that's implemented. This only worked in the beninging. This only worked before I actually implemented how it actually works. So that won't work right now. Okay, that's fine. So in the drawing code, let's see. X advance. Where's X advance? Y advance is 7. Okay. Y advance. I div 2. Div 2. So that should wrap it. No, that's not quite what I wanted. X advance. Mod 2. Yeah. Duh. All right, so there's our swanky new health bar. So if I go and take a damage for 2 or 3. Somebody on Twitter was like, I feel like it's harder to read how much health you have this way, and I am inclined to agree. I don't hate it. It is less of a bar this way. I could maybe make it count up from the bottom, but I don't know if I like that or not. I could also just have like an actual bar, like I could have like a potion bottle that fills up or something. Or have like a glass heart that fills up, and that would maybe be better suited to a vertical. I'm a little bit married to having the heart bar in my Zelda-like game, but I don't know. If it ends up in like feedback and playtests and stuff, if it ends up that this is too hard to read, I will probably just change it to like just like a big like glass heart over here that fills up with pink or something instead of having the traditional heart bar but wrapped at two. But I don't know. Currently, I'm going to leave it the way it is because I like it. Um, so anyway, there's that. And actually fix hot maps and then new health bar. All right. So let's see, not OBS. I wanted Asana. So we did the health bar. We can do the currency counter next. It's next on me list. We'll get rid of this because it doesn't even work anymore. So there's that. And then what else do we have? We've got health bar in here somewhere, don't we? We take it out of the list of to-dos. Cache, key counter, okay. Nothing special in there. All right. So next we'll do HUD currency. Sorry, I had to take a sippy of my drink. So let's see. So we'll go and change all these health bars to be currency. And I'm gonna comment all this out. I'm gonna comment, well, we'll need to change that. So let's go to the old HUD and look for our MUNs counter. So we've got all this stuff, which is going to be different. So that is no longer true. Let's go to our mockup and we'll go and look. And so the actual count starts at 367 roughly. I don't remember how large the actual like font file is. Mun's font, here we go. Okay, it's just, yeah, it's where I thought it was. So we'll have the counter position starts here at 367. So we'll have counter position is at 367. And then we'll have gem position is going to be up here at 1156. So that's something. And this Mun's BG is going to go away. My dog is barking. I need to let him in the house, so I'm going to start the game up and then BRB. Briefly. Promise. Mute myself. Okay. So where were we? We were... I guess I should really just... Oh dear. Never had a read map fail. This is what happens when you do separate processes. Sometimes you just like fail to open a file because it's locked for writing or something. And I should probably be clever about that stuff. Let me get some health so that this will stop heart beating all the time. And of course nobody drops health when I need them to. Okay. That'll work. So this all goes away. We don't care about any of that. And currency. Okay. And then currency. What does the factory do? Oh gosh, we have things that refer to this. Maybe that's not great. Oh right, because we show and hide it whenever you get something. So that might cause some errors when this stuff is no longer available. We don't initialize anything on it, so that's fine. Okay. And then, what do we do on add to scene? We grab this stuff. So we'll move that to our init. And then on tick, we do this stuff. This is a good opportunity for me to clean up some code in these HUD elements, because it hasn't been touched in a long time, actually. Okay, we're gonna have to change some of this because we don't want to hide it anymore. And then here's the stuff for drawing. Self X and self Y, that all is going to go away. So we'll say counter position.x .y. Okay. Do that. That. Okay, and then up here we will do this. And okay, so that should fix that. And it sure does. So we'll plop this in here. Let's see. Right. So now if we restart the game, we should get an incorrectly displayed currency counter. Okay, sweet. And it dismisses itself because it works the same way it used to. Which means if I go and get one, yeah, it'll reappear. Alright. So now what we want to do is, we want to change the draw. So the hiding all the hiding crap is going to go away. Force show is going to go away. And then all of that stuff just no longer matters. If not force show, right, that's all for hiding, so that all goes away. Flicker we do care about. So if we're not hiding, that goes away. And okay, so we need to change some stuff. So here's what we need to do. Instead of having the hide timer, we just need to not hide it first of all, and then we'll rename some stuff here in a minute. Okay, so that we can all ignore that. That's fine. Because the way it currently works is if you get like a 50, if you get like a 50 or something, it'll count up and then it'll flash when it's done counting, and we want to keep that. So now it should show all the time, I think. Yep. So there it is. Now we need to fix the position and turn off the old background. So let's see, here's the old background. We don't need that anymore. We do, however, need this guy. And Mun's gem, we'll call it. All right. So then up here, instead of the background, we'll have gem sprite equals assets HUD Mun's gem.png. And this now goes away. And so what we'll do instead is we'll go in here and where does that begin? 1156, which I think we already got in the, already got that right. 1156, yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll say grenderer GUI draw sprite, and then in here we'll load gem sprite, and we'll do gem position x int position y int z equals gem position y int no cam is true. I don't know if we even need to bother setting the Z or not, but when we start doing animations, we might. And we only want to show this if you have, we only want to show any of this if you have more than 0, probably. So we'll say if self, not target, but Mun's is 0, return. So we just won't draw if we have 0 money. All right, so there's that. I maybe want to, is that in the right spot or should it be moved up by 1? That looks a little bit off to me. No, that's right. But maybe I do want to move it up by 1 and see how it looks real quick. That's fine, forget it. I could also move those down by 1. I don't know. Maybe I do want to move those down. Whatever. Okay, so let me go and grab this. And we'll just move it down by 1. Okay. So, and now it's moved down, as you can see, and it looks a little bit nicer. So now I need to move this over to where it belongs. We're applying an offset to that we don't need to anymore. So we don't need this plus 14 here, and we don't need this plus 2 here. That should fix that. All right. So there's our money counter. And I think I've already opened... There are 2 money chests in the... Actually, we don't even need to do that. I can just place one here. So let's do that real quick. So we'll go to our tiled, and we'll go to our objects layer, and we're going to go to the dungeon. We're going to go and... Oh, Lord. We're going to go and... The object layer, please, and we're going to select... One of these is empty. This one has a 50 in it, so we're going to copy that one. And we're going to put it right here, just for testing's sake. Actually, we'll put it right there. Why not? And we're going to get rid of the save key because I don't want it to save. I should probably save the map. Any day now. Now I need health again. Come on, you. Really? Does it have to have a save key? That's the other question. Seemingly not. I didn't think it did. Why isn't the map reloading? Is MD5 collision that likely? Like, is that a super common problem? Oh, duh. I went inside and came outside. So I'm not actually on this map. I'm actually on this version of the map. Not the duck, the chest. Tiled, I swear to God. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now, if I go up here and open this... Oh my gosh, you got a 50. Okay, the flashing doesn't quite work. So why not? Well, we only changed the Y for this here. What's the issue? Hang on, I'm checking a message real quick. All right. Okay. What's the deal with the flashing and the such? Hide timer. So we played the kaching, and then what? Okay, we don't actually change anything in there. So hide timer div 12 mod 2 flicker return. What is the issue here? Because the old version flickers just fine. Why do they only flicker once? It doesn't make any sense to me. This was only used in the draw function anyway. Did we delete something from tick that would be doing that? It sure doesn't look like we did. It's exactly the same. Hmm. Well, I suppose there's the hide animation length and there's the hide delay. And those are the only two things that we have here. So then here, if we're not hiding and we're at the target and our hide timer is less than 60, hide timer. Where do we change? Where do we modify the hide timer? Hide timer equals 0. If we're not forcing show, increment the hide timer. Which force show, that one can definitely go away, probably. Maybe I'll leave it for now. Which we can probably simplify a lot of this code. So we're just gonna have changed at is going to be an int. Time started counting. Let's see, we'll have time reached target is what we'll say. Lapsed. Da, 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 da. If not. Else, we'll say if not this self target is less than self time started counting, let's say self time reached target equals context ticks. Right, and then what we'll do for the flicker, what we'll actually do for the flicker is we'll say if self muns self target muns and say so we'll do the same kind of maneuver, but we're just going to write a new little timer for it. And we'll try that out. Okay, so we have a flicker again. I don't want to flicker the top part, but this does work, so that's cool. And I'll show you a magic trick where I go into this tree and come back out, and now there's a treasure chest. And we can see what a big count up looks like. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad at all. So now we got that whole thing working. Let's see. So if we're flickering, we don't actually want to return. So what we'll do is we'll say flicker is false. And then here we'll say flicker equals. And then what we'll do is down here. We'll say if flicker. Well, we'll say if not flicker. Right. So that means the gem won't flicker anymore. Immediate mode rendering, baby. Okay, that's not bad. Maybe we only want it to flash for an amount above a certain threshold. Maybe we don't want it to flash for every single gem that you pick up. Let's see. Briefly, I'm going to be right back because somebody just woke up and I need to go get a hug before they go and do their own recording. So I will be right back. All right, I have returned. So, okay. Next order of business. We could do something like whenever you get like a 50 or something and it's counting up, we could do something fancy like flip this to make it look like it's spinning. That would be cute. Maybe that's a little bit noisy. We obviously don't want to do that for like everyone you pick up because like we only want to draw your attention over to the side if something is happening that's important. So maybe if you get a big one, we'll like start counting it up and we'll like rotate this. Well, quote unquote, rotate this. So let's think about how to do that real quick. Let's see. First thing I'm going to do is do that. And then what we'll do is we'll animate it a wee bit. Let's see. Arrow says, "Hi, I'm digging the HUD a lot after seeing the game in motion. It's pretty." Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say. So let's see. Where is the... Okay, big change is just a Boolean here. So if we are counting... if we're counting, and if it's a big change, so every 2 ticks, every alternate 2 ticks, we change the value. So that's 30 times a second we change the value. And then here we'll say if it's a big change, and we'll say animate the gem. Actually, this needs to be in the drawing part of this. So we'll say, let me just copy this whole bunch of stuff real quick. And we'll put this down here. So we'll say animate the gem if it's a big change and we're counting. So, or if it's a big change, and actually we should just leave that first. And it's a big change, and so we'll get this, and then oh, that's interesting. So that's how we track that. That's not what I would have anticipated. So we'll say if elapsed div 10. Well, we'll do let frame equals elapsed div 10 mod 4, and then we'll say case frame of 0. Can I do flipping in this? I don't even remember. Draw sprite. Do I not do flipping anymore? I don't even remember at this point. I don't think I do flipping, actually. So I would need to actually animate this a little bit real quick. So we'll make a new frame where we'll flip it horizontally, a new frame where we'll flip it vertically, and then a new frame where we'll flip it horizontally again. And there you have you have a rotating gem. Be impressed. All right. So then we'll export a sprite sheet. Can I packed? There we go. So there's our sprite sheet. And that'll be Mun's gem sheet, right? Okay. And so we'll change this to be draw tile. Just say var frame equals 0 is what we'll do. And then we'll do this. And then we'll say draw tile. Or can we say draw sprite? Does that take anything? No. So change it to draw tile because that means that we can specify a frame out of a tile sheet to use. And we're going to change this to be gem sprite. So month gem sheet. And we don't use this anymore. Rebuild the game and take a look. All right, so now let's go to our alternate copy of this map. And I'll grab a big money. And as you can see, it rotated. So now the gem animates if we get like a large, oh, get away from me. So now if we get a big amount of money, the gem will start spinning. We probably want it to spin a little bit faster than that. So instead of div 10, let's try 10 FPS. That'd probably be nicer. And I'm going to change my spawn position to be at the old overworld test. So I'm going to just be right here. That's not bad. It feels maybe a little bit silly. I don't know. I like it. Kind of cute. We can maybe put particles on it later. So I'll come up here and say, do consider particles when spinning the gem. All right, so now this goes away, and what else do we need? Let's see. So we don't draw if there's no money, and we've cut out some of the old code, which there isn't much of. It's a really simple really simple thing. Let's see. So all this like hiding stuff is from the version that would like dismiss itself, and so I'd like to get rid of it, but I think for now we can just leave it and it should be okay. There's like little polishy things we could do. So like when the gem is spinning, we maybe want to get like a full 6 frames on whatever image it's on before it snaps back to the center. Or maybe we want the turn to complete no matter when it finishes counting. So what we could do for that is we'll have gem timer is an int, and what we'll do is we'll come down here and we'll say so what we'll do is if target mons doesn't equals mons, we're going to change this target mons to just say target, because it doesn't, there are no other targets for this, right? And what is this? If self-target doesn't equal mons, if self-mons equals self-target. Okay, I see. Okay. This is so if you pick up a bunch of money in a row, it can like keep the counter and the pitch and stuff going. The like sound pitch because it pitches up. And then what we'll do is we'll say self gem timer equals max self gem timer 6. So we'll start it to do at least one turn every time you get a gem, and we'll see if that is what we want after we look at it. And then what we'll do is down here, instead of this, we'll say if self gem timer is greater than 0, then we'll say frame equals self gem timer div 6 mod 4. And actually, we don't want to do that. We want to do actually, ouch. I want to do 24 frames. So we could do that differently though. So what we'll want to do is here in what we'll want to do is we'll update the gem spinner. So we'll say if self gem timer is greater than 0, then if, then we'll just do decrement self gem timer. And then down here, what we'll do is if there's a big change, well, I don't know. If we're changing the value again, we'll just do that again. So it'll always do at least one full turn is basically what this means. We'll see if that looks like crap or not. And so then down here, will this just work for free? Who knows? It might be awful. So by default, it's static, and then we'll get the 50. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Okay, so when we pick up 1, it works as intended. It does one little turn. But if we get if we get a bunch, it resets the animation every frame, which is not quite what we want. Well, it resets it every 2 frames, technically. So let's change this. We'll say if self gem timer equals 0, then we'll set it to 24. So it'll just do one turn and then do another turn. Which we could make it spin at a speed that matches the audio pitch. That could be kind of fun, but maybe that's doing too much polish for right now. We could do that pretty easily though. So we could change how this works. So we can have gem frame int, and that'll be 0. And we can make this, I mean, we could make it a float. Let's make this a float, and then these decrement and things won't work anymore, I don't believe. Yeah. self gem timer minus equals 1 is, well, self gem timer equals max 0 self gem timer, whoops, minus 1. So we'll do that instead, and then and we'll say inc self gem frame, or well, we'll say self gem frame equals self gem frame plus 1 mod 4, because we have 4 animation frames. So now what we'll do is this goes away. Actually, we don't want to, or do we want to decrement it? Herm. Because we could count up to 6, right? And then change the frame. Let's do this. Let's say pitch. And so there's our pitch. And then we'll say self gem timer plus equals pitch. And then otherwise we'll say self gem timer plus equals 1. And we're going to move this down here. If it's, instead of this, what we'll do is we'll say if it's greater than 6, because it's normally 6 frames, right? So actually this should be 2, because this is every 2 frames. We love magic numbers here. I'll clean it up later. If we are greater than 6, I'll say self gem frame, we'll just go ahead and do this. And we'll say self gem timer minus equals 6. And so that should let it animate at different speeds based on what's happening. And then what we'll also do here is we want it to do like one more animation, right? So so we'll say if self hide, we'll just make this an else. Let's say self gem timer plus equals 1. And I think that should be allowed. And then we will, instead of this, or that, okay. See if that mess works. Okay, so it maybe turns when it doesn't need to. Let's see. Okay, that spins faster than I would have expected. That's a little bit awkward. And it doesn't end up where we want it to be either. So that's the trick. That's okay, yeah. This goes away. And we'll say gem return to frame 0. We'll say if self gem frame is not 0, then we'll say self gem timer plus equals 1. And so it should always stop on 0. It was so fast, oh my god. That's not quite what we want. That's really fast. Why is it so fast? What the heck? Which we could reset this to a flat 0 here instead of doing minus equals 6, but what is the deal? So if we're at the target, we want to go one more. If we're counting, we go at this other rate. Actually, shouldn't this be 4? I think that should be 4. Yeah, that looks right. But it doesn't need to be so fast when we just pick up 1. That's way too fast. Okay. Let's see. This will actually make the timing incorrect, but I'm curious what it will look like. It doesn't look bad. That looks more like what I would expect. Wait a minute. That's because we're using the... Oh, okay. That's because in the draw, we're... Wait, no, we're not. What the heck? Whatever. It's fine. It looks nice. We'll leave it alone. So all this goes away. All that goes away. And... all right. If you're wondering why I run the game constantly, even if nothing should have changed, it's because sometimes you'll have made a mistake, and I make mistakes a lot. And I'd rather see sooner than later I've made a mistake. All right, let me grab some health because the constant heart beating is going to drive me crazy. In debug mode, I can hit R to just reset the room, which is a great way to farm health if I'm busy being bad at the game. Alright, so that's got those things. Real quick, I noticed earlier that the 0 on this has like a slightly off color, as you can see up here. So... wait a minute, or is that one off? Whatever. Okay, so there's that. And let's go and currency HUD animation. Okay. So there's that. So far we've done the health bar and your currency counter. Key counter is next. So if we look at the mock-up, you can see we've got the key counter here. Similar to the currency, it used to pop up in the corner and then dismiss itself down off the screen. But in this case, we want to just show it or hide it based on whether you're in a dungeon or not. And then we're going to do little animations when you collect a key or use a key, but that'll be for another day. This file just has a bunch of different UI experiments in it, some of which I posted to Twitter and some of which I didn't. But anyway, so man, my back is aching. I need to sit in a better chair when I do these. Oog. All right, so keys next. And then maybe we'll get to space and shift. And then items. Items will be a little bit different because I'm changing how the items behave. Let's see. All right, so that goes away, that goes away. And currency stuff can go out of the to-do list. All right, so now we'll make, we're gonna take this and save it as HUD small keys. Which I could just call it HUD keys, I guess. Why complicate things? Change all these currencies here to be keys. And get rid of that to do and save it. And then we'll go open the old keys HUD, small keys. And so this stuff we'll just bring on over real quick. And this will just be a ref object. It's not an actor anymore. And it doesn't need to be HUD keys, it'll just be keys. New keys. So init will be in, okay, we don't do anything in there. Oh, interesting. Do we, is this accessible? What even is this guy? I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, it's just in our config. Okay. Okay, that explains a whole lot. Anyway, can you tell I took a long break? So we check if there's an area key for the world that we're in, and then we see if there's a key counter for that. And there's also a hide timer for this guy. All this goes away. Whoop. And all this goes away. Whoop. I wanted to keep this open, VS Code. So in tick, we do this. There's really not much going on with the keys. We don't do any fancy animations for them or anything yet. So now we'll save and probably have a bunch of problems. Oh yeah. So let's go and let's look at where the keys start, right? So if we go to here, the keys, well, let's, first of all, let's get this. Oh, right. Ay, ay, ay. Let's go and grab, let's just get it with one little bit of outline. I mean, we don't have to, it doesn't really matter. So we'll copy that, paste it, save, keys, PNG. Okay. So we'll come over here, and so we'll have keys marker, assets, HUD, keys.png. This keys BG goes away. We don't want that anymore. We want key renderer, GUI, draw sprite, G image cache, load, keys marker, and that will be at, we need to get the position now. So marker position is going to be a vec2, which I could just make it an ivec2 because there's no reason for it to be a float, frankly. I've just been doing that out of habit. If we can go and look where that should start, and it should start at 489. So we'll come back over here, 489. Joyous day. Position is no longer used. Marker position, and then we'll have count position equals, where does that start? That starts right here at 1489. Excellent. Okay. So then we'll come down here. This is all smelly and we don't care about it. We also do a flicker on the keys, which we might have to fix up. So this will be marker position.x, marker position.y, node cam equals true. I think we set the layer as 1 or something on the other things, is that right? If I go look at the currency, where do we draw that? Or we just set the Z, which is interesting. Okay, I don't know if that matters or not. So we'll just leave that the way it is in the old version. And then we've got the number itself. So for this, we'll have counter, well, what the heck is it called? Count position.x, count position.y, and then the plus 15 and the plus 2. Whoops, I hit page up instead of delete. Those just go away. And this will be position.y. But this is on a different layer. Why does it matter? I don't know. I don't remember if there's a good reason for that or not. Okay, so there's a lot of old code in here that doesn't afraid of anything. And that's not even used. Is there anything that is used? Okay, so that should replicate the current functionality. So real quick, I didn't mean to do that. Ay, ay, ay. So currently, we have no keys visible, and we shouldn't have keys visible in this area anyway, but I expect when we plug that in, they'll probably show up and we'll have to fix something. because the world area key thing, the world to area key, I don't remember even writing this. It's been so long. And it's probably not the way it's supposed to be. Import HUD keys. And then we'll come down here and we'll have keys, which is the keys. And we'll say our result keys equals new keys. Self keys init context. And then in tick of self keys tick with a context and self keys draw with a context. Life is simple in game development world today. Okay, so there's our keys. I should probably format that as a left padded, zero padded rather. Key counter shouldn't be here right now and yet. So if I go in the dungeon, do I have any keys? I apparently don't, so let's go get a key. Which I might have used the only keys on this floor and I'll need to reset my save. So there's a key. It didn't show up. Fantastic. Okay. So we are definitely not out of the woods. Alright. So let's see if we can find out why our keys are screwy. That's why your keys raggedy. I need to move this to the keys file actually. And we're getting there. We're getting there one bit at a time. So, okay, I see. Okay, first of all, let's fix the formatting first, and then after we fix the formatting, we'll look at fixing the actual counter, because something seems amiss. Why is this written this way? Ah, 04. So that should at least give us 0 padded for that. Okay, so now the keys are 0 padded like we wanted. And now that they're 0 padded, why the heck aren't they showing up? Because I'm fairly certain they're still there. This key doesn't save that you've gotten it. And do I have it? That is also the question. On my other machine, I have the save file convenient to... Oh, like, it turns off down here. Okay. That means the area key has that overworld in it for some reason. So if I go back up here, it should come back. Yep. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Why does that happen? Okay. A happy face. Okay, so... First of all, First of all, the only thing in here is the first dungeon. So if we don't have the key, context save world, then we should hide. What gives? If we have the key, then we... Is it that the hide timer is being counted? Hang on. So we ink it. If it's less than 60, we flicker. And if it's more than that, then what? What the heck is going on? I am very confusion. If this is the only thing we're looking at to look up those keys, first of all, how are we showing the keys when we're just on the overworld? And secondly, why aren't we getting the actual values out? Why are we getting some nonsense value? Okay. We don't increment the hide timer. That's not good. Maybe we should just call it the timer, but let's see if this breaks anything, just moving that up there. Okay, it doesn't disappear, but it does exist. Still no value. So we're still not pulling out the value. Is that what the world is actually called? Because that would be something. Mapgen, D1. It is called world.json in there. And we're adding it to the D1 save key. So let's go look at the key that we got. And let's go look at this. We should maybe area key is D1. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have the area key because we don't want to save that we got the key. We want to be able to get it over and over for testing. And then up here we have a key that is marked with a save key and an area key. And I know that I have that key because I was able to use it to open this door before. So when we load the game, it should say where our save file is. And it does, and it gives us the save file. So we can go look at our save file, and here it is. Our name is Doinko by default. We can go and set our money to 0, and we can, oh my god, the playtime. That's just in frames, relax. And we can go and I haven't done much development on this machine. If I open this on my MacBook, I bet it's insane. But we can just take all of these switches out. And we can take... Okay, so it says I have 3 keys in the overworld and 0 keys in D1. That's not right. So let's try the game real quick. And we'll see what values end up in there. So if I go and grab some money. So now I've got 2 monies. And if I come back over here, well, I'm not sure when it saves actually. I don't remember. Does it save when I go through a door? No, it does not. It probably saves if I pick up a key or open a chest. That would be my guess. And then again, maybe it doesn't. Didn't seem to change when I changed worlds. Does it save when I get a key? It sure doesn't appear to. Ooh-wee. So, am I indeed in that same save file? That's my next question. Or am I getting in... Well, I have to be because it loaded the values out of it. Yeah, it's still here. Does it... I think it saves on quit, actually. Whoop. Yeah, that's what it does. Okay, so currently... I have... Okay, because it doesn't have an area key on that, it was giving me a key to the overworld. That is an error. I need to fix that. I'm going to reset my money again because it was nice seeing myself with no gems. Alright, so... Okay, so what that means is, similar to this key, having the area key on it, we'll leave the save key blank, but we're going to add an area key. For D1. So now if I go and I grab that key, it should, which we still show the key counter when we shouldn't, but now if I go grab that key, aha, okay, so now it shows up on the key counter, and I reclosed this door, so now I should be able to go through it and use the key. Okay, we're back in business. Which, I don't know, maybe a key should automatically know where it is just based on the world that it's living in. But I don't know, I might have a dungeon that spans multiple maps or something, and then that could mess me up. Actually, I know I'm going to have a dungeon that spans multiple maps. So interestingly, this tunnel doesn't count as part of the dungeon, and that's because it's on the same map. That tunnel doesn't count because it's actually over here next to these like house interiors and stuff. I would need to move it, or I would need to configure it at the very least to be attached to this area. It would need to be part of this world somewhere. I could stick it off to the side or something like that. But that's interesting. But, so this does not count as being in the dungeon, so it doesn't show the keys. That being the case, why on earth does the overworld show keys? And now it doesn't. Okay, so the key in the dungeon with no area key was counting as a key for the overworld on load, I think, is maybe what was happening. Or maybe there used to be a key here that I tested, but I didn't see it in the list, so I don't know. So now we've got our currency counter in pretty good shape, and we've also got our key counter in pretty good shape, which is nice, and we can re-get this key as many times as we want, because I didn't give it an identifier for the save file. So I can just grab that. Nice. So, let's see. Looks like we just crossed the 2-hour mark, actually. So this timing works out well. HUD keys. Let's see. So there's the key counter done. Hide keys when outside a dungeon. We should maybe print a warning if a key doesn't have an area key on it, and disallow that when you pick up the key. Like, it shouldn't put anything in your save data for that. So if we go to not the HUD drops, okay. So if the area key is empty, we should probably complain. If area key is empty, then we'll say warning, area key missing your key. And then we will say print X, Y, area key, save key. Actually, I should do it in here, maybe, in the actor factory. So in the actor factory, we'll do it. So we'll say if info save key, not save key, area key is empty. Actually, we should warn for either, because in the final game, obviously they both will need every key will need both an area key and a save key. Warn small key as unset area key or save key. And then we will print the info. And I might have to import print, or not. Okay. So now we should get a warning if we enter an area with a sketchy key. And we can test that real quick. So whenever we walk into that room with the key that drops, it should give us a warning. Actually, should it? Does that inherit from this or not? It might not. Okay, it does. So if we come over here and kill these guys, it'll look like there's the key. We should have a warning up here. Warn. No. Where's my printout? There's no printout. That's not good. That's very not good. Oh, because this only happens in the factory. And the factory is different for the other key. Womp womp. So we should have this up here. But we really want to have the info, frankly. So what I'll do is I'll just replicate this on the other key. Because the spawn info will have things that we want in it. Okay. Now, we've got a warning for something. Unknown tag blue. Oh, that's in text, I guess? Yeah, because I didn't do the colors. I could go do the colors. I forgot to look when I came in here because I was distracted. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, now we get this very helpful warning down here where we get this very helpful warning. So small key has unset this, and then it shows us the whole thing. So it can tell us what kind it is, it can tell us where it is, and etc. And we can just look at all the things in it. So that's cool. It would be nice to say what map it's in, but currently you just have to know contextually. You'd have to scroll up and be like, what are we loading? Oh, well, we're looking at this particular map, which is from this particular place. So that's not so bad. Let's see. So there's that. The next thing we need to do, so I've got to implement the items, right? And then I also need to implement the actions, and then I also need to do the gamepad version of each of those, which will show different icons. So we need to do space actions, we need to do shift actions, and we need to do item displays, and then we need to do the gamepad version, and the version switching should just be kind of for free when we do the gamepad version. However, I've been going for about 2 hours, so I think for now I'm going to take a break, if that is okay with all of you. But yeah, so we made a little bit of progress. This has been a fun time. Thanks everybody who stopped by today. I really appreciate having folks around. But I hope you all have a good rest of your Sunday/Monday. I don't know if any time zone is in Monday yet, but if it is, have a good Monday. And I will see you guys on the next stream for the next one of these. And we'll do some more UI unless I end up doing it off screen. But yeah, thanks. I'll see you later.